It's truly grateful to be here with you today, and thank you, Father Mike, for this great opportunity. My name is Father Roy Jacob, CMI. I'm serving in the Diocese of Joliet for the last 10 years, and before that, I was in Brooklyn, New York for another 5 years. So, at the very beginning, let me share with you a story. Maybe it's a joke, I don't know. There was a man who was 90 years old. He did not know how to drive a motor car. So he approached a driving school to learn driving. Remember that he is 90 years old. So the driving school appointed a personal trainer for him, and he began to learn driving. The first day, the trainer noticed that this 90-year-old man, when he was driving, shaking his hands, he was shivering, he was so scared, especially when the trucks and motorbikes are coming from the opposite side. His hand is shaking and he was shivering. He is so scared to drive. The next day also it happened. He was so scared to drive. So the trainer said, "Don't worry, you will learn gradually. It will take maybe a couple of months, maybe a year, but you can learn." But to his surprise, on the third day, this 90-year-old man, he did not have fear. He was not scaring to drive the car when from the opposite side the trucks are coming. So the trainer was so surprised. He asked, "How come you are no more shaking your hands, you are not scared to drive?" Then this 90-year-old man said, "That is simple. It's a secret, but I tell you, when the trucks from the other side is coming from the other side, what I do is I just close my eyes." So that's the story. So today we celebrate the feast of Saint Peter and Paul, the patron saint of our beautiful parish here. And I would say we are all so much indebted to Saint Peter and Paul for our faith. Because if Peter and Paul and the other disciples, if they did not share their faith, what they have seen or the resurrection, we would not be able to believe in Jesus. So Peter and Paul and the other disciples, they shared their faith, what they have seen, especially the resurrection of Jesus. They spoke the truth to the people so that we all believe in Jesus. And at the same time, I doubt why Jesus chose Peter as the disciple. Not because of his education, not because of any other reason, but it's mainly Peter loved Jesus. He madly loved Jesus. In one occasion we see when Jesus spoke about the passion prediction, Peter said, "Jesus, it would not happen to you." Then Jesus said, "Get behind me, Satan." Peter's reply was quite normal, because anyone who loves others, they never wanted to happen anything that's bad. I never wanted any of my friends or relatives to be hurt, to be in an accident. I always loved them. That's why he loved Jesus, and he did not want Jesus to die on the cross. And after the resurrection, we find Jesus is appearing to Peter. And the question that he asked is very crucial. Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me?" Jesus did not ask, "Why did you deny me for 3 times?" Jesus did not ask, "Will you deny me again?" But Jesus asked only one simple question, that is, "Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me?" 3 times. So Peter madly loved Jesus. Peter said, "You know that I love you." So because of that love, Jesus made him the head of the church. On AD 64, on June 29th, Peter and Paul, they just got out of the prison and they met each other for the final time. And Peter said to Paul, "Peace be with you." And Paul in reply said, "Go in peace." And after that, both of them taken to be punished. Peter was crucified. Was crucified. At that moment, Peter was telling them, "Please crucify me upside down, because I'm not worthy to be died like my master, like Jesus." So he was asking to be crucified upside down. You can imagine how painful that death is. St. Paul, he was beheaded. He also had his past history. When he was going to Damascus to persecute the Christians, he fell down from his horse and he lost his eyesight. But at the moment when he lost his sight, an inner eye was opened. A spiritual eye was opened for him. He could hear Jesus. He could see Jesus with his spiritual eye, with his inner eye. Henceforth, he never looked back. He was working for Jesus. He proclaimed the message of Jesus. So Peter and Paul is always standing in front of us as the pillars of the church, and we listen to them and we follow them because they gave us their faith and we believe in Jesus. I am standing here, I come here on behalf of Carmelites of Mary Immaculate, a religious congregation deeply committed to bringing the gospel to those most in need, especially in India, Africa, Latin America, and among underserved communities around the world. The Carmelites of Mary Immaculate, or CMI, is the first indigenous religious congregation in the Catholic Church from India, founded in 1831 by Saint Kuriakos Elias Chavra, a holy missionary who believed in the power of education, compassion, and deep spirituality. Today, we are over 3,000 priests and brothers serving in 36 countries across 6 continents, including the United States. Our charism is rooted in contemplation and action, inspired by the Carmelite tradition, with a special devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary, immaculately conceived. Our mission fields are often places of great spiritual and material poverty. We serve in remote villages in India and Africa, where people walk miles to attend Mass or receive the sacraments. Schools for the poor, especially in southern part of India, there are many orphans and handicapped, mentally challenged people. We are focusing on them also because many people, they don't have proper education, especially the orphans and the mentally challenged, where a simple pencil or notebook are treasures for children hungry to learn. We also focus on the hospitals and dispensaries where we offer healing, not just body, but of soul. And even in war-torn religions where we accompany those in pain with the peace and hope of Christ. Wherever we go, we bring the Eucharist, education, and empowerment. Let me share with you a true story. In a rural village in southern part of India, a young girl named Priya used to sit outside the church watching others go to school while she worked in the field. Our CMI missionaries opened a small school there and invited her in. She couldn't even write her name, but slowly, day by day, she learned. Years later, she became a nurse, returning to her own village to care for others, bringing both physical and healing and faith to her people. That's what your support can do. It is not just charity, it is transformation. So now, how can you help us? I'm here not to just share stories, but to ask you to be part of our mission. And there are 3 ways that you can support us. First of all, pray. Please remember our missionaries in your prayers. Many serve in dangerous or isolated places. Your prayers give them strength and courage. Also talk about our missions, share our stories, encourage young people to consider vocations to religious life and mission. And also your financial support today, no matter how small or large, will go directly to support education, healthcare, and evangelization efforts in our mission areas. Your generosity helps us bring Christ to the forgotten corners of the world. So now, our founder, St. Kyriakos Elias Chavra once said, children of God must shine like stars in the world through their virtuous lives. Help us continue to shine that light in the places where it's still dark. Thank you everyone for welcoming me today. Thank you for your faith, and thank you for your opening your heart to the missions of the church.